This man wants to sleep with his friend's wife because his friend is broke. After his friend and the wife were thrown out of their home for unpaid rent, he offered them shelter, but his good deed soon turned into betrayal as he began to desire his friend's wife. He believes that since he pays all the bills in the house, including for her and her husband, he's entitled to her in the same way her husband, who contributes nothing. He attempts to force himself on her, but she quickly resists and angrily warns him to stop his advances. The woman has repeatedly rejected his advances, constantly reminding him that she is married to his friend and that he should respect their marriage. She warns him that she will shout to alert the neighbors if he doesn't leave, firmly refusing to betray her marriage. A faithful wife defends her marriage, even when temptation comes from those who offer comfort. The man stands and slowly walks out of the room, but his lingering glances show he isn't ready to give up on her. Once he leaves the room, the woman breaks down in tears, burdened by the struggles she endures to provide shelter for herself and her husband. She resolves to tell her husband about the incident as soon as he returns home. Later that day, Bhadman lounges on the couch with a glass of whiskey, scheming ways to seduce his friend's wife. Smart walks in, wearing a look of deep disappointment, and casually offers a handshake as he walks past him before sinking soddily into the seat beside him. He has just returned from his daily job hunt, another day filled with disappointment and unfulfilled promises. He begins to lament the state of the country and how he spent the entire day searching for work, only to find that no one is willing to hire him. He complains that jobs are now reserved for those with connections, and as he vents his frustration, Bhadman sees it as an opportunity to make a move on his wife. While one man struggles to survive, another sees his weakness as a chance to take what isn't his. Bhadman carefully tries to calm Smart, claiming he understands his struggles and telling him that he has a job opportunity for him. He knows that if he can get Smart away from his wife, he will have plenty of time to pursue her, and she will likely give in to his advances. He tells Smart that he owns a company in a distant part of the country, which he had kept secret for certain reasons, but seeing Smart's struggles, he's willing to make him the manager. Smart struggles to believe what he's just heard, unable to accept that he's been offered a manager's position and that his friend owns a company he never knew about. He goes on to explain to Smart that the job comes with a monthly salary of 500,000 naira and that he needs to prepare to travel tomorrow for the position. To make himself appear more generous, he lies to Smart, saying that the manager position had already been given to someone else, but he personally ensured it was kept vacant for him. Deception often wears the face of kindness to achieve selfish desires. Smart is left utterly speechless by Bhadman's confession, seeing it as a genuine opportunity that could transform his life. He slowly bursts into joy, celebrating his new role as a manager and wholeheartedly thanking Bhadman for granting him such an undeserved favor. After 5 months without work, relying entirely on Bhadman to feed himself and his wife, finally having a job means he can provide for his family. When hardship has kept you waiting, the first chance to rise feels like a blessing from above. By fulfilling Smart's employment needs, Bhadman has cleverly created a way to be alone with Smart's wife, increasing his chances of winning her over. Some offer help not out of kindness, but to pave the way for their own selfish desires. Overflowing with joy, Smart begs Bhadman to give him a moment to go inside and tell his wife about the job he has just been offered. Bhadman cheerfully agrees to his request, reminding him to also prepare his luggage since he will be traveling in the morning. As Smart leaves, Bhadman silently revels in the success of his plan, thinking how easily it unfolded, since he expected his friend might refuse the job to avoid leaving his wife alone with another man. A bad friend pretends to help, but secretly schemes to take what isn't theirs. The woman lies on the bed, waiting for her husband to return so she can tell him about Bhadman's advances. Smart walks in, and she greets him with a warm smile and a hug, then says she wants to discuss something important, but he quickly interrupts, saying he has news to share first. Sometimes life surprises arrive before we can even speak our hearts. Smart begins sharing his good news by telling his wife that Bhadman is a kind and generous man, a friend whom God has truly blessed him with. The mention of Bhadman's name fills the wife with sorrow, but Smart goes on to reveal that Bhadman has given him a job. The wife is shocked by the news, then immediately joins her husband in celebrating as his long-awaited dream of having a job has finally come true. He then tells his wife that the job requires him to travel to a distant state, and she is overcome with sorrow, knowing she cannot be left alone with Bhadman in the house. She also cannot tell her husband about Bhadman's advances, fearing it would jeopardize the job he has just been offered. Her husband reminds her that she had news to share and encourages her to speak, but she instead says she would like to stay with her mother in the village while he travels. Smart quickly shows his disinterest in her suggestion and reminds her why he brought her to his friend's house instead of returning to the village. He doesn't want his wife to travel to the village, fearing that people will learn he has lost his job and wealth. He then encourages his wife to manage in his absence, assuring her that Bhadman will take care of her, unaware that he has unknowingly paved the way for Bhadman's schemes. He kisses his wife on the neck and leaves to pack his bags for the trip, while she stays on the bed, visibly sorrowful about what awaits her. The next day, after her husband has traveled, she sits on the couch, absorbed in her phone. Her husband left with Bhadman, who had promised to drive him to the park, while she remained home alone. The door opens and Bhadman walks in. The moment she sees him, she rises to leave, but he quickly grabs her to stop her. He walks over and sits beside her, quickly beginning to apologize for the way he has behaved toward her. He admits he is sorry, but the woman, unwilling to listen, tells him she has forgiven him and tries to leave, yet he pleads with her to stay. He composes himself to sound more sympathetic and remorseful, apologizing again and clearly expressing regret for his actions. A guilty heart often hides behind soft words, but true remorse is proven by changed actions. He offers her a gift box from Vajrek's fashion stores, but she refuses to accept it from him. He starts persuading her to accept the gift as a token of his apology, insisting that if she has truly forgiven him, she should take it. An apology that comes with conditions is not sincerity, it is manipulation in disguise. The woman reluctantly accepts the gift, and he urges her to open it, sitting beside her with a smile as he admires her. Not every gift is given from the heart. Some are offered to open doors that should remain closed. The woman opens the box and is instantly thrilled by its contents, carefully taking out each item one by one. Excitement can blind the heart, making it forget the intentions behind what is received. She takes a jewelry box from the larger gift and, upon opening it, lets out a small scream of delight at the gold inside. Bhadman offers to help her put on the necklace, assuring her that he knows it will suit her perfectly. He asks her to sit properly so he can easily place the necklace around her neck. A seemingly gentle gesture can carry intentions far beyond its surface. The woman blushes as Bhadman places the necklace on her, touched because it has been a long time since she received a gift, given her husband's struggles. Bhadman gently takes her hands, turns her face toward him, and slowly leans in to plant a kiss on her lips. A few hours after their encounter, The woman lies on the bed beside Bhadman, lamenting and regretting her actions. Bhadman tries to console her, telling her not to regret what they shared and reminding her that they both enjoyed themselves and that it will remain their secret. Some secrets are shared in moments of weakness, leaving the heart torn between pleasure and guilt. Bhadman feels no remorse for his actions, believing that his friend doesn't deserve the woman due to his financial struggles. He tells the woman that she doesn't deserve to suffer and openly promises to take care of her, subtly suggesting that she leave her husband to be with him. A selfish heart disguises temptation as care, offering freedom while chaining trust. After experiencing the woman, Bhadman's desire intensifies, pushing him to claim her fully and permanently, unwilling to share her even with her own husband. He pulls her close, letting her rest against his body, assuring her that he will handle everything and advising her not to worry. Some comforts come wrapped in control, promising care while binding the heart. 3 days later, the woman sits on the couch, enjoying a glass of wine while scrolling through her phone. A phone call comes through, and she becomes visibly upset as it interrupts her, noticing that the number is unfamiliar. She ignores the call and resumes what she was doing, but when the caller rings again, she angrily answers. She tries to tell the caller that they have the wrong number, but the caller mentions her name and says he has news about her husband. The caller informs her that her husband was among the victims trapped in a devastating house fire and, tragically, he has passed away. The woman breaks down in tears at the news, collapsing to the ground and crying aloud over the loss of her husband. When tragedy strikes, tears speak the pain that words cannot capture. Hearing her cries, Bhadman quickly rushes into the sitting room to find out why the woman is in such deep distress. He helps the woman up from the floor and onto the couch, asking her what's wrong, and she tearfully tells him that her husband has died. Bhadman immediately feigns concern over her husband's death, secretly rejoicing that his plan has succeeded and that nothing now stands in the way of winning the woman. This is a lesson to everyone. Beware of false friends. Some people pretend to help, but their true motives are selfish. Please share this video and comment what you think about Smart's wife.